Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful week. So in the prior video, I showed you how I set up my budget using the Every Dollar app, but in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your budget in the Microsoft Excel worksheet. So first thing I'm going to do, I want to increase the size of my cells since they're really small. So I'm just going to highlight a portion and I would just increase it to a size 14. So basically the rest of it would also increase in size. In the top portion, I want to have my income, and then I want to have expenses, and then a small section for savings and also debt so that I can distinguish the expenses from the savings. But on the very top, I want the income coming in, so that way I know exactly how much money is coming in. So what I'm going to do is that in this portion, I'm just going to put income. So that will be the title of that section. Here, I'm going to put paycheck number 1. Paycheck number 2, and I'm actually going to add a line for supplemental. I still don't know how much extra I will be making, but I do want to include it just in case I want it for the future. So I'm just going to move this tab a little bit over. So once I put in the amounts in these boxes, I do want a total, so that will go there. And I think that looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the section and I am going to create the borders. But since I also want a darker one around it, I'm going to create a darker one. So that's how it looks. I'm going to highlight that. Since this part of income is the title, I'm going to highlight both of the cells and then I'm going to press the merge and center so that it makes it into one cell. Now I can add the colors so that I can distinguish between the amounts and the title. So I'm going to highlight this one and I can choose any color I want. So I'm going to choose maybe this blue one. Trying to see how I want to categorize the amounts. So obviously you can mess around with the colors. I mean, whatever works for you. I'm just trying to see how I want to put this. Maybe this one should be light blue as well. You know what? I'll just make all of this dark blue. So I'll leave it like that for now. So what I do want to do is I want to format the cells here because I want them to be with the money sign and I don't want to change it all the time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click and then go to Format Cells. And I'm going to choose Accounting and make sure that you have 2 decimal places and then the symbol, the dollar, and press OK. Now in the total, we do have to put in a formula because we want to make sure that the 3 amounts that are on the top, whether it's 3, 4, or 5, that this is the total. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put equals sum, open parenthesis, and then I'm just going to highlight. Basically, you just drag your cursor, close the parentheses, and press equal. So what's going to happen is that in the first cell, if I put $5, it's going to populate. If I put $7 in the second one, it's going to keep adding it, and then supplement if I put a 9. So as you can see, it automatically calculates the amounts. So there we go for the income. That looks pretty good. I think I want to make this bold. And maybe this total should be bold as well. All right. So now I'm going to go on to my expenses. So I'm going to skip a couple lines. I do like to have at least a space in between. So in the next category, I'm going to put expenses. Let's skip a line. And then I can just start listing the expenses. So first of all, we have rent. I do want to put a budget on this column and then the actual amount paid on this column so that I can budget here at the beginning of the month, and then once I'm actually paying the bills, I can actually adjust the amount here. So that would be budget, and this will be actual. So we have rent, utilities. I'm just going to combine all of them since I have to share utilities. I mean the cost of utilities with my roommate. So I'm going to put gas, car insurance, cell phone, groceries, household expenses, which includes toiletries, Netflix, eating out, and miscellaneous. I believe that's how you spell it. And then those will be my monthly expenses. So once again, I'm going to create the cells and create the borders. I do want this to be bold. And now I can choose another color. So basically, if the top portion was blue, maybe I can do maybe like a dark orange. Like I said, you can always adjust these after the fact. So since these are going to be dollar amounts, I'm actually going to highlight and format the cells to be in accounting format, just like I did in the top portion. So there we go. I do want the total. So here on the bottom, I'm going to include total. So I am going to add an extra. This one will be bold. And these also have to be formatted. I don't like the color. I'm actually going to make it a little bit lighter, so that's a little bit better. It's not my favorite color, but it's a little bit better. I can always fix it later. So once I actually start budgeting here, don't forget we have to put equals sum, open parenthesis, and then just highlight the top section, close parentheses, press enter. And you also want to do the same thing for this column, since you will be adding up different amounts. And it will just automatically populate itself. All right, that looks pretty good. I do want to make both of these bold. So my next category will be savings. And I think I'm going to do that in green. So basically on here, you can label it whatever you want, but since it's a monthly savings account, I can just put, you know, April or the first of the month, so that I know that for that whole month, you know, that's how much money I want to save and put away for savings. This would also be my total. And I want to make this bold. These amounts should also be formatted. So as you can see, I can put anything there and it would equal the same amount. I also want to do another one for debt. I can also put the same, you know, the beginning of the month so that I know how much it is. I will put a budget, actual amount, total, and then I can put a balance. So I like everything to be equal, so I like to make sure that my formatting is exactly the same in all my cells. Make sure that you format these to accounting as well. For the total, you can just put equals, highlight the cell, and press done. Equals, highlight the cell. So the only reason why I have total here and also in savings is just in case you actually put savings away more than one time. You can just add another row, and then you could just add a new date and put how much money you actually saved. And then when you get to the bottom, what you can do just to make sure that everything lines up is you can just have the amount of income minus the amount of expenses, and that would be your actual expenses. So what we can actually do is, I actually wanted, I'm trying to figure out where I want to put this. You know what, let's do this. Income, expenses, and total. So in income, I'm going to put equals, and then I'm going to go back to where my actual income is, which is here, and press enter. So that should populate once I have my income there. For expenses, I do want to add different columns, so I'm going to put equals. I do want the total for this one. I also want the total of how much I put away for savings so that I know how much money is coming out from my income. And then I also want the total amount that I paid for my debt. And once I have those three cells here, I'll just press enter. And that should automatically populate the amount of money that I actually put out. So here where it says total, I'm going to put equals income minus expenses. And I can make that another color. Maybe purple. I feel like it's too dark. Maybe this blue. Alright, so for example, if I put, all these amounts here, and then my income, I just randomly put $35. You can see how it's automatically, I made $35. I already have $21 in expenses. So basically I have $14 left. So at the end, it does have to balance out. If you're doing a zero-based budget, it has to have a zero here. If not, then you obviously have to adjust your numbers. But there you go. This is basically how you can set up your own Excel spreadsheet. You can obviously change cells, add cells, depending on what you want. I'm still going to look over this after the fact just to make sure that this is the way I want it. And if anything, I'll add extra cells. I hope you found this helpful and you guys can set up your Excel spreadsheet, and it's very easy to use. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.